The Pyjama Ninjas now taking on none other than their ex-teammate Freiburg. OpTic is going to be standing up against the Ninjas in Pyjamas now as we continue through Group B. My watch is excited and so should you. I'm joined by Pimp and we have a new face back on the desk.
Whoa, I've returned. I've also undone an extra button here because I think we're getting to the sweaty part of the evening, Alex.
It is going to get a little bit exciting. And you know what's actually more exciting is we can get some insight we don't always get. Now NiP are taking on OpTic. We know that's going down. That's a given. We'll get the vetoes done after this. But just before we went on, Jacob reminded me, you've actually just played against Ninjas in Pyjamas in an official game. You stood in for Astralis. So you've got the freshest of all fresh insight and playing against the Ninjas. What maps did you play and how did it go?
We played Nuke and we played Train and we lost both. So, not that well, but we lost 16-14, so close games. But then again, it's online. It was ECS. A lot on the line for both teams, though. They played against each other to qualify for the tournament. Astralis ended up winning that battle, even though we lost. So I'm not sure how NiP really showed the real stats and all that kind of stuff. But it still gets a feeling of how it is to play against them.
I'm just checking Jacob's stats. I apologize.
Oh, how did he do?
Look Train.
Yeah. Yeah, you saved yourself on Train. You did a bit of a Chad level performance on Nuke, but
no, he chatted.
Yeah, he did it. He
chatted. That's a verb now in Counter-Strike. All right, well, chatting aside, we are going to go and see what they did when they were chatting to our camera crew. We do have the players with some microphones in their hands. Let's check that out before we do some analysis.
I think we will do good here. We didn't play that great at Blast. We didn't have time to prepare for that tournament. Now we had at least 1 week to prepare. Yeah, feeling good.
I think OpTic has a good chance to qualify for the playoffs. Our goal here is probably to get to top 4. We know we have a group where if we upset one of the 3 highest rated teams, we have a good chance of make it. We have played a lot against Energy and Misfits in the past, and we know how to beat them. It's only going to be a question if we could beat either North, NiP, or SK.
I think we have a pretty good shot on doing well here. I don't want to hesitate myself in saying we're going to go here and win it all or anything like that. We just take one step at a time, and the first is the group stage for us, so we'll take it from there.
I think we will win this event.
It's just gold. It's just comedy gold. Fat to the end there. The newest addition to OpTic. Well, I say newest addition, excuse me. But either way, the Estonian there at the end, OpTic, are going to be going up against the Ninjas in Pyjamas.
Well, if you believe Reddit, he probably won't be on the team for much longer, Alex.
Is that what Reddit says?
Yeah, there's rumors. They flood around the net.
Those damn internet rumors. You can't keep track of them all. But yeah, Get Right's just saying, yeah, we're not going to do badly with his usual.
Yeah, nonchalant.
Nonchalant.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good way to put it. But let's kind of, I want to get a read for the desk in terms of expectations for this one. Chad, you seem to pull a funny face when Freiburg was suggesting top 4. Is that not a realistic goal?
It's just their group is quite difficult in the sense of the top 3 seems more clear in this group than it does in the other group, right? So he is right. They do have to upset one of North, SK, or who's the other team that I'm forgetting?
NiP?
NiP, the team they're about to play. Wow. Yeah, but that's a tall task, right? Because as OpTic team, we saw them be relatively flashy, but for me, it's more about the individual performances and the cohesion. I'm yet to see it unfold on LAN, right? We saw these guys in Oakland. They didn't look terrible, right? They were winning games that they probably were expected to win, and they made it through to the quarterfinals and stuff. So it's just a tall task in this group specifically. Specifically
for Group B here for the Pro League Finals. Actually, let's start talking maps very quickly. You already mentioned you actually played Train and Nuke, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Okay. And Nuke didn't go fantastically for you, but either way,
Thanks for pointing that out. Yeah.
Hey, man, look, Chad brought it up to attention. I was in no need to bring up the stats.
Yeah, but I threw myself under the bus as well. You're with me. We're both under there, mate. We're both under the bus.
Brothers in arms. But let's just quickly kind of brainstorm maps. I mean, where do these two teams kind of fall into a... Where do their map pools cross?
I mean, that's a good question, because what's interesting to me about this OpTic lineup is that ever since Oakland, they have changed the AVP player to, I believe it's Mixwell now, instead of Elo, which is a complete weird move. Yeah. So that might change a little bit in terms of map pool. I feel like we could be seeing... I don't know, we could be seeing Mirage maybe. NiP, they've been pulling it out as of late, a new map into this core of the lineup. Definitely a map that they both want to play. Maybe NiP would remove it, because I know OpTic is a great team on Mirage. But I feel like there's a few maps that they can overlap. Strain is one of them as well. So, as for map pool, I don't think OpTic have that settled down yet themselves, whereas NiP have been a team for quite some time now. So they probably play 6, maybe even 7 of the maps.
If it was me, and I was Mr. Chet, the coach, I am a pet, I would be looking towards, trying to pick a map that that NiP are happy to let through, and then try and counter-strike the best you can, right? And come in with that kind of way. Because NiP, they still have the young players who aren't fantastic on adapting on the fly, right? They still have Rez and Drake, and we've seen them struggle or get a little bit sweaty under the collar when things don't go their way. So something, you know, that NiP probably would let through would be like a Cobblestone, right? And that's a map that seems very rigid, and you could prep for it in a pretty structured manner.
Okay, I mean, let's see if the reveal can take place. Another wiggle of my magical graphics hands, and Chad has done it. Cobblestone is where we're going to be going. NiP did have the choice between Cobble and Inferno, though.
I think it's a good pick for them. And then again, like Cobble, it allows for OpTic to release some of that individual potential that is on the team. You have players like Mixwell, you have Magic's Boy who normally goes off as well, and I feel that's where it differs from NiP. You know, they have more individual star firepower, whereas NiP is more sort of like a team. So Cobble allows for some of those stars to go crazy all by themselves, but then again, Cobble also does allow for teams, you know, to play the structured game, you know, and it depends on how well they do that, you know, whatever OpTic has a chance to know.
Do you know how strange this is? I'm just quickly bringing up the stats. OpTic haven't played this map in the last 3 months.
Not a single Cobble game on record.
So like that even buys more into the theory of just going for that hard counter strike.
Yeah,
right?
I love what you've just done there, because now
that was full accident.
No, but it's beautiful, because not only have you painted a picture that we know I'm a Pet seems to be one of the, despite emerging on the scene this year, has been very, very well praised by pros and by the community. You know, his hard work is paying off. He is one of those people. He's a demo watcher. I spoke to him very briefly in San Francisco, and he was just like, "Yeah, I just watch a hell of a lot of demos."
I love that kind of guy.
Yeah, so he watches a whole lot of demos, and chances are he's just been staring at Cobblestone with the Ninjas for a long time, and a map that they have forged somewhat of their path to success on. And now OpTic are going into a map that, I mean, there is nothing NiP can know about OpTic's Cobble, right, Jacob?
That's true.
So that's a luxury.
That's a luxury, and it makes it difficult for Threat to prepare for OpTic. And then again, you know, OpTic have had 1.5, 2 weeks to prepare for this tournament. You know, being home, being in Europe. So again, you can involve your map pool within a decent amount of time if you just practice all those days. You know, so it could be some sort of the same scenario where Luminosity comes out with a Cobblestone, and they actually did very well against Fnatic. I kind of expect the same thing from OpTic.
And just returning to the point we kind of started this segment with, just before the players do take to their seats and we get to the casters, Chad, Alu on a rifle. You happy with that? You comfortable with that?
I think Alu is a really good AWPer, especially on the CT side using his initiative. But when we look at this match specifically and the matchup itself on Cobblestone, I think, you know, this can be 5 rifles on the T side, no dramas. Yeah,
and we could even get to see some double ops on the CT side. Gedalu and Mixwell both firing on all cylinders, and this is going to be a good one. The eyebrow is up and the server is ready. So, gentlemen, anyone expecting to see OpTic take this one? Have you convinced yourselves with the I'm a Pet dialogue, Chad?
No, NiP.
Okay, going for the NiP boys.
Same.
All right, guys. It does seem like the Swedes have convinced our experts. We're going to head over to the casters to see if there's any deviation there. It's going to be Henry G and Sadakis for this one, as Freiburg takes on his old team.
Freiburg does take on his old team, so too does Alu. In fact, there's 2 ex-NiP players.
That's absolutely true.
Going against NiP.
I love that. There's a lot of storylines going into this one. The fact that OpTic have never played an official game on Cobblestone, that's got to be one of the biggest ones. We'll get into it. Let's see what they can do here.
That's peculiar. In a best of 1, that's where
yeah, right?
up.
Maybe it's a secret weapon. We'll see what happens here. It's going to be Alu to challenge first. There's a little bit of damage towards Forest. Magis does a little bit more. He gets the headshot towards Draken, but he will be taken down eventually by Forest there. And it's a 4-on-4. We still have 2 smokes, 2 flashbangs, and Alu, he's not falling back anytime soon. He wants to stay and hold his ground.
So Forest waits for Get Right to clear from danger. Then they'll work together inside of the bottom of middle. In fact, they'll throw back the USP to Forest. A natural decision, I think, given his pistol prowess.
Indeed.
His poise. HS, meanwhile, out toward Long B, does spot up Rez. He'll make contact, and they'll subside ever so slightly. That's all for naught, though, because the action does inevitably look as if it's going to go toward the A side. Alu's timing just barely misses out on spotting Forest, as he wants the information if they are still toward Long, and I think Forest... Yeah, I was going to say, could see him. I thought he could see him, but I didn't have his perspective.
Poor Alu.
Never saw it coming, did he?
Never saw it coming. The smokes will come in now. It's up to Freiburg now. Can he get anything done here? He has to wait for his teammates. He can't go down there. He can't risk pushing that smoke and getting taken down alone. He'll have to go for the retake here. Holds the murder hole, which could be interesting as Red crosses. Doesn't nail the shot, though. The bomb will be planted. There is a kit available. That is in the back pocket of Freiburg. But it's a nice open plant for the Ninjas. And it's up to Get Right and his teammates exist to hold the fort here.
Sits on top of the platform. As you say, they've got to hold it off. Get Right, no need to peek. He'll wait for the call from Exist. He can catch them in transition and cross if he wanted to peek out early, but HS is the only one spotted so far toward the top of the mid wall. has gone aggressive to look for the information, but Freiburg finds him up close. Get Right now has to swing. They're already on the defuse. He's got to go aggressive. Where's Forrest? He's down. HS has the shot. They're still on the defuse. Freiburg's going to be blocked by Mixwell, who not only finds the kill, but allows the defuse to come in.
Did you hear the scream of Freiburg there?
Yep.
That's one of his calling cards as he goes with the full defuse. They set up the human shield, and it works out quite nicely indeed. Like I said, that all comes down to Freiburg. He had the option to fight right there. No, at that point, right? The smoke comes in towards the connector, towards the balcony. He can challenge towards middle. We're going to have danger from long A as well. But he decides to fall back, wait for his teammates. Sure, it's a little bit of a bitter pill to swallow, but he comes in for the retake there. They slowly make their way towards the bomb site. He nails that first shot, goes to the full defuse. And that was a round where NiP looked like they had it all tied up, but wasn't meant to be. And OpTic, they go up 1-0 here. Of course, no force buy in the second round. The bomb did get planted, so we'll see AKs in the third. We can see OpTic preparing for that. We've got 4 rifles here. This is textbook stuff. It's looking very good. You don't want to be bringing out the SMGs knowing that the AKs were coming out the next round, as you'll be very weak up against those rifles. So it's up to NiP now to try and get the bomb down. That's going to be the only objective here. It's going to be very unlikely they win the round here with just PD50s, Deagles, no armor. But always a chance with those sort of shots, and that red Deagle of Forest once again showing up in the top right of the screen. He's been such a monster with that weapon recently.
What a shot. Opens it up well. Freiburg's going to take the same position over and try and respond, and he will. Spray down with the M4. Nade as well should do further damage. Considerable damage toward bottom of middle. Get Right goes down. Alu able to spray out the rest of the damage. He'll swap to the pistol, but can't collect. It's Freiburg that's got forward and gotten aggressive. He knows Draken's behind the flames as well.
There's a reason he falls back there. If they lose 3 kills in this round with the rifles up, like that's going to be actually a really bad round for them, all things considered. So he decides to fall back. Sure, he wants the glory of the 3K straight away, but he wants to make sure he stays alive here. He can feel that one slipping out of his grasp. And Draken, objective at this point, is get 1 more kill. He won't be able to plant the bomb here, but he just gets 1 more before he goes down. That would be a very successful round if NiP. They've made OpTic very weak going forward as the AKs will be coming out into the next round. The final kill will come through. Remember, as the analyst has pointed out, Alu is no longer the main AWP of this team. It's going to be Mixwell. Now that's an interesting proposition. It begs the question though, does Alu still use the R8? I know you're a fan of it.
Yeah, no, I'm not actually. I just like to be ironic.
Okay.
And sell my soul for the broadcast.
Well, we'll see if he does bring it out. He's not going to have the AWP anymore, but he's still a proficient rifler. People might not know. Back in the Mouse Wars days, he was a main rifler, right? So he's not like he can't use the weapons.
Statistically, was the best player on that team back in those days. Kerrigan, I think, was the AWP player at that time, was he not?
God, that was a long time ago.
Godby, Kerrigan, Alu, Chris J, and I know Lagia stepped into that ESL lane that Alu couldn't attend. But who was the actual 5th? I can't remember. Nex? Speedy was involved for a while. Anyway, HS takes down Rez. Zist tries to spray back, smoke in front of him, won't be able to do so. He's tagged to 46, so great start from OpTic on a map they do not play. Keep that in mind as well. Tries to catch Get Right off. He'll transition back inside of the tunnels directly. It's 79 HP. Takes 1 bullet to the shin. Focuses well on toward drop. Freiburg is waiting patiently. In fact, he's going to get a little more aggressive on the windowsill.
Well then, 5-on-4. Nice work from OpTic. HS to open things up with the FAMAS. The young Estonian kicks things off in round number 3. Remember, this is the force buy. I'm going to be getting the bomb down in the pistol. 1 smoke, 1 flashbang is all they've really got. Alu will be challenging with that aforementioned 84-84. Does a bit of damage there, but not quite enough. Forrest will take him down. And it's up to Mages now to deliver a world-class performance. He's by himself. He waits the rotations, takes down Draken. The flashbang's good, but can't convert it. Now it's a 3 versus 2. Mixwell to try and retake with HS. They've got no kit, but it might not matter as Mixwell strikes from the balcony. Only find 1 kill as HS now left in a very difficult situation, rotating all the way through B halls towards the bottom of middle. Up against Get Right and Exist. Exist, though, very low. Definitely has got a chance here.
Makes a lot of noise to get in position. So Get Right knows exactly where he is toward the top of middle. He's already turned his back that direction. Just going to check it, but Get Right should be ready. And absolutely nails the headshot. So NiP find their first round 2-1 early into it. Yeah, there's a little response.
Yeah, he's
a subtle one. About as enthusiastic as his interview.
Yeah.
Did he not look like someone woke him, like drug him out of bed at that point in time, and he just was like, oh, yeah, I got to do that. Yeah, I think we'll do well, you know. Can I go back to bed yet?
Oh, I like HS's approach. We're just going to win this tournament. Ambitious, but I like
he seems like a bit of a character. He jokingly called himself in one of Freiburg's vlogs the 2nd best player from Estonia.
After Rob said. Yeah. And that's probably where the it ends. But
it's just kind of funny that someone admits to being second best, right?
Well, you can't really argue if he still robs over a DreamHack win.
Oh, absolutely.
Bloody hell.
I'm not saying it's factually incorrect.
No,
it's
I'm just agreeing with him.
Yeah,
you know?
I agree too.
But 1 minute 25. This is the force buy from OpTic. No R8 just yet. It's going to be Alu with the UMP HS with the M4A4 5.7. A couple of CZs. Freiburg with the 5.7. Don't see it too much these days. A couple of players still use it, but it's Mages to open things up first. It's Draken. Why is he doing that by himself? That's going to be really frustrating for Threat, the coach, to watch. He's going into a key choke point against Pistols with just a flashbang and no trade potential. We always talk about trade potential in these anti-ecos, and that's a bit of a misplay from Draken, who has been criticized in the past for making these poor decisions in really key situations. So he needs to wake up a little bit there and work out what's going to be worth the risk as we get into a 4-on-4. It is recovered. Exist finds the frag, and Mixwell probably doesn't get much done here. It's a very awkward position, one and done at best.
Well, the ringing in his ears will fade away. Exist has a position from the left side boost. Left side on approach, not the common position we see them go for, but wants a different angle to catch off Mixwell. If he had pre-fired that, he might have caught him.
Yeah, they were aware he was in that spot. Oh. He does get a nice shot. This could actually fall apart as Freiburg with the 5.7. He can't do the damage, but Mixwell keeps finding kills. A 2-on-2 now. If he gets one more, they've got a real chance here. Getright's missing everything. 2-on-1.
I don't even understand how Forrest doesn't get that kill. That reload time is so long in the CZ. Not only does he reload, he jumps into the open. And you're right, Getright missed a number of shots, but Forrest didn't get the angle in time. It's a one-on-one. He'll plant. Majiska's going to know he's on the statue, and he's got the lineup, but Forrest somehow hits the shot instead.
What a clumsy round. NiP did not deserve to win that one. We didn't see it from Getright's POV, so given the benefit of doubt, he could have been blind, I suppose, but that seemed like, by his standards, a very simple kill. It's Mixwell to deliver a magnitude of frags there, but not quite enough. Draken gave it the first kill and gave OpTic a chance, and it came down to a very tense 1 versus 1. But remember, that was the force buy from OpTic, and regardless how close it is on the CT side, you're always going to be eco in the following round. It's 2-2, and nothing purchases the round number 5 here. OpTic that's going to be rushing middle, trying to open things up here, but not going to find much at all. I think it was Liquid that started doing this on full ecos, like rushing top of middle from long A as well, and just trying to surprise the T's. It does work every now and then. But yeah, right, should have some fun here as he gets a couple of kills out of the AK-47. Freiburg will finally find the frag. We get a 2 here, but obviously the round going in favor of the Ninjas, and they'll take the lead at the same time.
Whereas waiting. See if Magisk will get impatient and go back toward the window, but NiP about to take the lead away from OpTic Gaming. 7 NiP players in the server.
Well,
you get what I mean, Henry. Don't ruin the storyline. Why do you do that?
I'm just making sure we're factually accurate. We like to educate.
Like I put all this time into creating a beautifully
all the research
conveyed image.
Yeah.
I paint all of the layers.
Demos you've been
one
watching.
Stroke of a brush. You just can't fill it all out.
Yeah, I throw a bucket of paint on it actually. Not even the brush.
Just
it's not my style.
Bully. You're a bully.
Well, NiP now with 3 rounds in a row after their 3rd round forced by the bomb down in the pistol. They're looking incredibly sharp, and OpTic, they're looking a little bit weak right now. We haven't seen the AWP of Mixwell just yet. We have got the 5 M4s, but no kits. Limited utility. And we'll see whether they can get anything done here. This is the sort of map where the cities don't really have many options at the very start, like we saw in Overpass in the previous encounter of SK and North. If you have a limited buy, you can go for boost, you can try and find those opening picks and take the game towards the T's. The only real option you have here, especially about the AWP, is boosting towards drop down, and it's very obvious and well known, and you just have to kind of hold back in the crossfires and hope mistakes come through. NiP, after making some horrible mistakes in that previous anti-eco, will be taking things a lot slower here. Got to have that trade potential, especially when you know you've got them on the ropes. You know the money's going to be low. We'll be tracking this as Forrest makes his way towards middle. Spots one at danger. Pre-fires the corner, but can't quite find the kill just yet.
Yeah, right. Falls off. Bounce flash down. He still can't catch Freiburg on the other side of the window. He's been posted there pretty much every round. Mixwell was remarkable with the CZ in this position. Unfortunately, the 1 versus 1 didn't go their way as Forrest was able to beat out Magisk. But watch Mixwell this time gets more passive inside of the site. Knows that they're entering. Needs the angle, needs the lineup. Exist has the better shot on the AK. This may still bring HS into it, but it won't res. Good read. Turns around, spots him inside the Hobbit hole, and Freiburg is able to push forward only for 1 as Rez gets around to the back of the tree, finds him at the rock, and the round should go to NiP as a result of this. More importantly, get right above.
Well, quite a simple round there. Not too much of a detailed execution required. Just helping themselves towards the B bomb side there. Mixwell completely wrecked with the split from drop down in the upper platform. NiP looking quite comfortable now after losing the pistol in the first 2 rounds. Like we said, we've never seen OpTic play Cobblestone. That's not to say, obviously, that they're not practiced on it. It's a bit of a wild card selection from them. They haven't tested out on LAN just yet, but obviously they've been boot camping and trying to work on these sort of maps to bring out and maybe surprise some teams. But so far, not looking too great. It's another eco for them as we get into round number 7. The Deagles, the CZ will come out. Freiburg somehow gets a kill there. Will be traded out. That's what we like to see. As we said, trade potential has to be there. 4 on 3. We'll go towards that B side again. This May just goes absolutely wild here with the Deagle. He does find one, and this could actually start to fall apart. It's looking quite clumsy now from the NiP side.
Mixwell gets an AK picked up, however, up close. Doesn't even matter. Draken's got the angle. Alu trying to get the flank. Magisk inside of the site. The HP is there. The damage is there. Just the final 2 kills not found. Then NiP now find 5 rounds in a row.
It's quite nice in this environment. We've got the teams right next to each other. They're separated by curtains, right? So you can imagine some banter will be thrown around. We'll hear some lines come through as the game gets a bit tighter. So listen out for that. I think we can just about pick them up on the microphone. So listen out for the war cries. Freiburg likes to get in their heads, but we need him to start trying and get some rounds on the board first and see what he can do there. As the double AWP comes out, Alu, he won't give it the AWP that easily, man. He's going to be bringing it out here. On Cobblestone, it's a very common setup these days. It seems like the map has evolved where most teams are more comfortable with this sort of setup. But Rez, what a player he's been for NiP recently. The entry fragger gets flashed in, and he's looking to crack open this B bomb site. And he'll not connect the shot as HS to take him down. I thought he had a chance of hitting one of the final few bullets there, but HS will keep 100 HP.
It was the MVP of Oakland. Rightfully so, as NiP claimed victory. Couldn't quite follow up that task in Copenhagen just 2 weeks ago at Blast Pro Series. I guess a little less than 2 weeks, really, if we want to be technical about it, but
yeah,
2 event weekends ago. Live your life by the CS calendar.
What a drop-off that was from NiP after winning Oakland, right? Cool. Like you have the pure ecstasy of winning a tournament like that, go to Blast, and just get completely wrecked. It was night and day, really. Sobering moment for them.
Yeah, no, it certainly was. They and G2 both failed miserably.
Yep.
G2's been struggling. Not even in this event. They were knocked out in the final evening by Hellraisers,
right, yes.
technically. In a head-to-head, it was
justified by the sounds of it, of Hellraisers and their performance so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking very promising. Majestic still out toward long, has smoke down in front of him. He takes a quick check to see if Get Right or anyone, for that matter, had pushed through. He won't know exactly who it is. He just knows that there is one there. In fact, I think he heard him go toward the barrel, but he's not 100% certain. Now he'll see him. Good find as he catches the head, as he descends. Alu back on the AWP this round.
Yes.
As they have 2 of them. Certainly can be a secondary opera. Why not? He'll get the shot. Finds Forrest as well, and a timeout called before the round even expired. And I think that that likely indicates to me it's going to be, well, it could be tactical. I would have suggested technical.
We're going to find out that they're discussing on the server right now. It is
tactical. Interesting.
Yeah, so that's fine. I think it is discussing as to why they lost that first pick. Rez is normally such a beast at the beginning of the round there, but he went down, and maybe they're discussing how he can be more effective there, HS's position. They wasted all the time towards that point. It was a 5-on-4. They didn't really get any map control, and they finally executed about the 15-second mark towards A. NiP have been saved from some individual heroics. Their game plan so far hasn't been perfect. Definitely some holes to be plugged. But so far, OpTic getting into this game now. Double AWP setup, ordered some decent results. Alu with 3 kills. Like we said, if you are just joining us, I'll say it one more time. It's Alu who's the secondary AWPer allegedly now, and Mixwell will be taking over as the full-time AWPer like he has done in previous lineups before. He has been one of those to be a player that's like in up peaks and troughs for him. He sometimes has amazing tournaments and absolutely shocking ones, Mixwell. So maybe this is a chance to try and get him pumped up again. So you're going to be the main AWP, you're going to be the star of this team. Let's see what you can do.
Mixwell goes aggressive toward B. Not aggressive enough. Draken's already through. In fact, they go for the boost. He's already got Mixwell. He knows they're going to the tree, but he knows he also spotted 3. He can't find his second, then through the box. HS will get the shot to take him down. Spray control need to be a presence. Can't quite get Rez. 3 HP, and somehow it looked like with Draken in that early, this goes NiP all day. Somehow they're down, and nearly out as Get Right's on 36 after not getting a kill and taking a ton of damage from the Flames.
Yeah, he just wants to get that bomb down at this point. The smokes have been deployed, and he will get the plant and a nice little HE kill there towards HS. So, 2-on-2 situation, but it doesn't look like NiP can hold on to this one unless one of the young stars, Rez that is, can hold on here and find 2 crisp headshots. That's what's going to be required here. Suddenly has the potential to deliver that up against Magus and Alu, one of which has the AWP. So if he can find the first kill on the rifler, then he stands a real chance of winning this one.
Can't believe they're tracking in so early that they weren't able to capitalize sooner. HS certainly made up for things on the tree. But you're right, Rez has to hit perfect shots with 3 HP. Can't afford to get caught in the open on his peak, and they're going to push his position so that even if he's in the stairwell, he's spotted as Magist gets well over to his left.
What a round that was. And that would have got a bit dicey if they didn't have the kit. Luckily, Alu did. But like I said, if Rez takes on Magus there, all of a sudden the HP doesn't affect the round whatsoever. And Alu would have had a very difficult task. But luckily, they managed to bait out a few shots, make him uncomfortable, and push towards the steps and find the round there. It's going to be now 2 in a row for OpTic. Money not fully broken for NiP, but we're pretty much there. 2 UMPs, a Deagle for Forest, and a couple of AK-47s. The double up setup for OpTic still looking very strong. As we go for the NiP smokes. It's been a while. Let's see if they work out. So the benefit of these smokes is you throw them towards B, and you have options. You can either go towards B, and the time you enter the bomb site, they're just blooming, as you can see right now. Or, from that position, obviously you can go down towards middle and fake them out and go towards it. That's why they're so cool. And no one really knows what's happening when they've been deployed, but it looks like a B-side attack will be coming through. Freiburg, obviously used to throwing the smokes back in the day, will be challenging towards drop down. Nothing can be done, though. This is the force buy from NiP, and so far so good. They've got the 5-on-4.
HS still on the stairs. Spots them coming through, though. Get right from inside of the drop. Didn't have the timing down because Draken wasn't in a position. HS had a free shot. He did eventually get taken down by Forrest, but Mixwell has the same position. Getting Forrest and Exist.
Oh, missed shot.
I was going to say make things awkward for Rez, who's inside of the site. They had no idea he was there. You're right. That would have been an opportunity.
I thought that was it. Rez hits that. Got a round on our hands, but it's another 2-on-1 situation for him where he gets nothing done. Mixwell. Very patient stuff there, holding on the steps, undetected for so long. It was the 5-on-4 from NiP, focusing on the drop-down area. They take down Freiburg, they come out towards the bomb site, but no one checks the steps, and Mixwell finds a guaranteed frag. He'd do well to miss it at that point, and actually breaks the economy for the Ninjas here. We've actually got a real map on our hands here. I thought this would be a stomping from NiP, considering you hear the fact that OpTic never really played this on LAN, and they won the pistol, but then the floodgates open, but they've looked very good in the last 3. And we have CZs, Deagles, PD50s, 1 smoke, and NiP looking to open things up. But don't forget about Forrest and that Deagle. That's been out of control in the last month or so.
Oh, it's been ridiculous.
Oakland, I think I tweeted out saying you could make a highlight clip from Forrest Deagle clips alone at that point. It was absolutely...
Well, you had Nico in that as well.
Yeah.
Looked amazing in that event with the Deagle. The finals was full of Deagles.
Yeah, it was like Desert Eagle Mania there. I had a lot of fun casting.
Was it Rain that was also involved in that, or was it Olaf?
Yeah. Olaf is, yeah, everyone was just going nuts of it.
Well, slower pace as things get tied back up and the pistols are in the hands of the Ninjas. Nade damage done to Forrest. He goes down to 41. They'll gather themselves toward the bottom of A. Magist has a slight gap to stare down with the M4, but he's given up a lot of distance out toward the corner. That'll be covered off by Alu on the AWP. 1 smoke. Exist is the one that has it.
Yeah, just throw that towards connector, and they'll have to just go out together and hope they can trade frags. And they bait another shot from Alu, but it doesn't look like it'll be enough. Good nade will do significant damage there. Good shot from Rez, though. It's up to Alu. Now things become uncomfortable.
The fact that they got Magist went inside and around the hut rather than directly toward the AWP. That first missed shot from Alu gave them way too much to work with. Close the distance, close the gap. It's Rez to hold off inside of the murder hole, but keep in mind the bomb still not planted. It's going down now, or should be. Get right has picked up an AWP, but only has 30 HP. In fact, they wait and go for the safe plant after clearing from cannons. Just barely to get it down time before Exist is taken out by the nade. It's suddenly a one-on-one. Freiburg versus his old teammate in Get Right, who has an AWP, but he's left in the open and nothing he can do. And then some Swedish banter from Freiburg to Get Right.
I heard Get Right's little nickname at the end there, Totte. So he's giving him a bit of banter. He said he'll be coming in. I don't know what the rest means, can't tell you that. But it sounded good. Bit of a walk.
Sounded great, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I bet it said, you're rubbish, Get Right. Something like that.
Exactly what it said.
I think that's what he went for. So that was...
I always knew I was better than you. I'm the king of banana.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll try and translate it as we go. 6-5 though, OpTic, that's a nice little clutch there. Obviously up against the Pistols, got a bit dicey there, but well recovered by Freiburg with the UMP, 3 kills in total. We get to another gun round, the double orbs out once again, and Draken with the AWP. He hasn't really been doing much at all. 3 kills, 9 deaths, and we've got a boost towards drop down from Mixwell, the AWP. Has to fall back as the Molotov thrice flies in, and he'll just play a little bit more defensive. Like I said, that's pretty much one of the only options you have to be aggressive at the very start of the round. You can go mid doors as well, but it's difficult. It's a hard shot to hit.
Well, Rez, as Freiburg recovers the last round, remember that was Pistols. Alu that missed a shot that allowed it to transpire. They hold the advantage against now the guns of NiP. Bomb plant to help them buy more. We'll go back to grab the bomb inside of the tunnels. If someone could by chance hear that on our mics, please do translate.
I could do it for you if you like.
I prefer someone who's going to tell me what it really said. I would not like Alu. WP, good find. This time it's quick to find Forrest as he runs around the corner. Draken, meanwhile, still at the bottom middle, has his AWP, but it's the man advantage again to OpTic-Cbble. The double op continues to be impressive.
It is, absolutely. Alu, very comfortable with this sort of setup. As we get towards the A bomb side, get right with the lug. Doesn't work out for him though. The spray transfer doesn't work out for him whatsoever. It's now a 4 versus 2, but Draken starting to hit some shots. A very quiet game for him so far, but we might not be done just yet. The bomb will make it down just in time. 2-on-2. Draken hits this, and NiP likely win the round, but Mixwell will make it a very realistic situation. You can hear the war cries coming in once again. I'm liking this from Freiburg. It's getting in their heads. It's a very tense round once again, but they've been coming out trumps in most of the clutch situations there. So another 2 versus 1. They find both of the orbs once again. And that's actually, what, 4 rounds in a row? Make it 5.
Apparently he said so easy. There's a word in there I didn't use. So easy,
right.
top
Okay, all right. Wow.
Just telling you right, it was easy.
A bit rude, isn't it?
You know, maybe it was easy. It looked pretty
Maybe
easy.
he's just saying, that was quite easy. Please try harder.
Please try harder next time
yes.
to make this more exciting for the fans.
Exactly.
Because without them, we wouldn't be here.
Exactly. That's probably what.
I love you, Tati.
7-5 for OpTic, and we'll have a tactical timeout. OpTic, who would have thought, have NiP on the ropes right now? We'll have a look at the scoreboard while we're here. I'll break it down for you. Majors at the top of the CT side with 12 kills. Not far behind him, though. Mixwell and Freiburg with 10 apiece. We'll look towards NiP and Draken. Yeah, 4 kills, 10 deaths on a orb-centering map. That's not quite good enough. Rez was 7. He's been a beast, especially in Oakland, right? On Cobblestone, especially. Like, he was unbelievable on the T side going towards that B bomb side, but very quiet game from him so far. He has not been the star they need to run away with these halves. So, just getting into the tournament, it seems, but we're unpaused and we have a full buy on either side. We have full utility there. Maybe just short. This is going to be Rez with just a smoke and a Molotov.
So Get Right sits well back to see if anyone will boost or throw further utility toward the drop room. Alu, meanwhile, will post himself with the big green out toward Long B. Doesn't want to take the stairs directly and look down the lane. He's expecting someone to be a little bit closer, but he will slowly be encouraged to take a peek. All-time flash from Draken discourages it immediately. Support from HS, the Molotov, that'll clear left side. Now Alu pre-fires because he's flashed off. He's not really having any luck or confidence to really get the angle, is he? A lot of utility being thrown his way, considering it's just 2 smokes, 2 Molotovs, and a nade left on NiP's side as a result of this, though.
Or smoke on the CT side. It gives Exist a chance here, but Alu will be backing up HS, and the battle hard because 4 players in front of him here. This can go either way, but Alu hits the first shot, going through the smoke as HS dinks another as he finds Rez to kick things off. 3 versus 3 with plenty of time to fall back. His Get Right holds towards drop down, waiting for the player to leave that upper platform. That is HS indeed, and he'll be watching it like a hawk, but buying himself some time. HS does get away with his life, and will NiP better pick this one up. It's been a long time since they put it around on the board.
HS is trying to time this to perfection with 10 HP. Forrest, back turn, had no idea. He's got a chance against Draken as well because he's low HP, and HS does it all himself. 3 kills total in the round. Take that, Reddit.
What does that mean?
Well, they'll say he's going to get cut or something along
that
that
line. I haven't seen it. I haven't checked.
Chad said Reddit said, and I believe Reddit.
Okay, well, there we go.
Credit is gospel.
I think HS is very good. Obviously, like, we can only judge what we see on the server. We don't know what's going on internally. I don't know what the rumors are. I can't even comment. But either way, I think he's a decent little player. As we enter round number 14, a difficult purchase though for NiP. You can see they got the AK Shaw, the maximum loss bonus, but they only have 2 smokes and a flashbang. A little decoy there as well. We'll see if that gets utilized at all. Mixwell with the upper platform presence, but smoked out. He'll have to fall back. And OpTic, they're surprising us. There's a reason why they picked this map today in the best of 1. NiP didn't see it coming, but Freiburg found res. Good frag from Exist. So HS once again on this upper platform.
Just again, opening achieved. B site completely vacant. I say that, they do get 1 rotation in toward the rock. It's going to be Alu that wants to at least take the position. He's going to have trouble getting there even still because of smoke now down in his way. Take that back. It's decoy. I would have expected that to be a smoke. The aggressive peek does not pay off. Alu gets 1 in return. Draken is Magiskant. They know exactly where Alu is with 41 HP and get right against the angle. Headshot through the edge of the wall.
Ooh, first round in 7 there for NiP. It's Exist that finds the lion's share of the frags, and every single round so far in this game feels like it's been a clutch, and OpTic have been winning almost every single time, right? So they're going to be actually in a very difficult buy in round number 15. They're going to be on CZs, Max 7s, Famuses, UMPs. It's not looking too good, so we'll see whether they can convert this to a victory. It's unlikely, and a double AWP setup on the T side this time with Forest joining Draken, who's been quite underwhelming so far for NiP. He just goes towards long air, a bit more aggressive this time. Boosted up his HS. And what's he got here? He'll be throwing an incendiary, presumably towards the mouth of the upper platform there.
Nice. With the shotty. Grab the CZ75 as well. Throws away his pistol. Does a little pirouette through the smoke. I'm not sure his intentions, but Forrest is going to wait. AWP. 2 AWPs on the T side against a forced buy.
Yeah. Looking for that 9th round. It's unlikely at this point. 5 on 4 on Alu. He's going for the huge plays as he pushes towards middle. Draken will get one nice shot there, but once again by himself with the AWP down in drop-down room. It's a little bit interesting that he's gone for that, but still they maintain the man advantage. Now Magus with the AWP hits this. They've got a chance. His teammate from the upper platform as well. He just needs to buy him some time. It's going to be Alu coming in. This was a long com, remember. And Rez, what is that plan? Why is he going for that sort of open position? All things considered, that was just a poor plan overall, but it's going to be Rez to recover. Bomb will go down, 1 versus 1. Magus with 3 kills so far, looking to close things out.
Oh, he's got the angle as well, and Exist walks directly into it. 9-6 indeed for OpTic with the forced buy. They didn't make anything happen on the NiP side, so OpTic, on a map they don't play, have pulled things back and recovered. They were down 5-2 at a point despite winning the pistol.
They absolutely were, so that's actually quite impressive. NiP not looking too comfortable here. That double AWP setup is paying dividends here. Alu and Mixwell going to town on NiP, and the young stars that were so good in Oakland just couldn't turn up so far. 9-6, and NiP definitely still within a shout of coming back into this one. We'll have to find out what happens after the break here.
Interesting.
Så jävla lätt är det, Tomte!
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, the City of Odense, NVIDIA GeForce GTX, Lenovo Legion, Bedway, Pay Safeguard, Logitech G, Tinderbox, Mountain Dew Leaf, Xfinity, and ESEA.
Well, it's 9-6 for OpTic on Cobblestone, but boy, do we have a treat for you at home.
Oh, yes, we do. Well, maybe you want to build this up one a little bit too much.
No, it's
Julie's.
Swedish Julie's.
It's the Julie's, yeah.
That is a deal.
You just sounded like you said it to me. That
That's
really
better
carried that
than
energy.
IKEA meatballs.
That's true.
It's more Swedish than IKEA
Maybe
meatballs.
IKEA meatballs are so sick. By the way. I
Never
love
had them.
Oh, dude.
Don't really shop for furniture.
Come to London and try them out in the Swedish store. That's how we do them best.
It's the only balls I would try in London.
Okay, right. With that out there, let's see if the excitement continues as Get Right will be ready with the Julies towards drop down, but it looks like he might not get a chance to use them just yet. It's Draken who'll be challenged first. OpTic now on the T side. They've got one smoke, two flashbangs. Draken, this weapon isn't amazing at close range. He's had to tap some heads with amazing discipline here and see what he can get done. And you can see why that weapon's not used at close range. You want him to keep at the top of middle, perhaps.
Ooh-wee. Doesn't need two guns. Just the first bullet from the shot on the right, I think, comes first. But either way, Get Right finds one. Forrest is there. He follows up, but then goes down. It's Freiberg to take him out of the equation as he watched it from above. Look at Get Right in behind. I told you we had a deal. He gets 2 kills. Rez closes it out, and the Dualies contribute.
They do. They get 2 frags there. It looked quite good there for OpTic. Draken, once again, no trade potential for him. He's at the bottom of the middle with the USP. They take him down with ease. You think that's going to be the round. They can smoke off towards connector, but Get Right denies everything. He takes down the lurking player towards drop down. Greets him with a headshot, those Julies, and he takes the 2 pistols over towards the A side and closes things.
I want a statistic that tells me when using Dualies, which gun gets kills more often, the right or the left.
Okay.
Peter from HLTV.
Yeah, I'm sure he's got that stat ready to go.
I want it. We all have to just count the bullets, and then you'll know.
I'm sure he's going to do that for you.
He will. To prove his worth.
CZs and 1 Deagle here. Ali, no nades, and they just goes down first. A nice shot there from Forrest. M401S, don't see it as often these days. It's been criticized that it might need a buff. You know, like, well, whether that will come true, I'm not so sure. As we enter the A-bomb side, this will be the final commitment coming in. It's Alu to hold the drop-down area. His 3 teammates are along A. HS waiting for him to go aggressive. He gets what he wants, but he can't connect the dots.
Just barely gets away. Exist, 15 HP, jumps across. If he was tagged by Mixwell, it would have been enough to put him down, but Get Right resumes duties in the same position. Jumps toward the barrel and makes no mistake finding Mixwell. Forrest has Alu, or at least gets 1 kill back on Totta. But in a 1 versus 4, this goes NiP's way all day. Forrest confirms that to bring us within 1, 9-8.
As you heard the dink there, that was the 4 spy from OpTic with the CZs and the PD Fiddies. We'll have to take a full eco now. No bomb going down in the last 2 rounds. So presumably just Glocks here, maybe 1 or 2 upgraded pistols. We'll have a look as we enter round number 18. But you're absolutely right. This should where NiP tie things up, and we have got a real game on our hands. We've seen a promising offense from, a defense from OpTic. What have they got on the T side here? As we look towards Exist to line them up, knock them down, go to the 3rd, but he won't get it. But Forrest should be able to help him out a little bit there.
Certainly can. Bomb down.
Ooh.
Freiberg up.
He wins these.
He has 1 HP to lose to each player. He wins these. Don't know that you'd say that about Freiberg.
It was a good try, right?
I liked where you were going with it. Draken was going in behind him, so he had nowhere to run. Greets him, and he gets back toward the statue, and we are at 9-9, but we also bring out the guns on the NiP side, as well as now the OpTic side. And they'll go ahead and get 5 AK-47s to go against an op for Draken, a UMP still for Get Right, as well as Rez, and then 2 M4s.
A little bit of a bonus situation here. Get Right and Rez. Let's see what they can do. It's a map that lends itself to that sort of weaponry. Draken, quiet so far, takes the Molotov on the chin, and he goes down to 75, so that's fine. He wanted to get that first pick and set the tone for the half, but he'll have to fall back. Still holding quite an aggressive position. This is like 1 and done. HS will go down first. Freiberg doesn't want to get the refrag there, and he'll allow him to get back. So But unfortunate in that sense. And now with the advantage in this sort of bonus round, that's very good news for NiP. It's Draken to pick things up, and maybe he'll funnel them back towards the B side of the map. Looks like an A split from what I can see so far. The bomb could always fall back, so plenty of time.
The Flames goes Magisk. Yeah, he's gone a little early. He is down and in position perhaps sooner than Forrest will expect as a result of it, but he's backed off, so it may not make a matter. Just got 73. Will hold behind the pillar.
It's getting quite tense now. As Mages has to think this up, but what a shot from Forrest that is. Uses the pixel gap.
That's a one tap from an M4 as a result of the other shot of the Flames, by the way. That wouldn't have been a kill otherwise.
Yeah.
So it does actually make a bit of a difference as Get Right takes down Alu. Get Right follows up to take down Freiburg, and he'll spray down Mixwell as well. And NiP now find the lead.
You can hear the screaming of Get Right coming in. Don't leave him hanging, Forrest. There we go. Fist bumps are very important. Freiburg. Who's that?
I'm just, I don't know.
Okay. Just one of your new characters you're trying out?
Yeah.
10-9 as NiP go up 4-0 here. Another eco for OpTic. I don't think they've planted the bomb as of yet. They have not. CZs, Deagles, and P250s. They've got 3 sets of armor. Alu opting for head armor here. Let's see if that works out for him. I doubt it. We've got one smoke to use that towards the upper platform. Draken quite comfortable here with the AWP at the chicken coop. It's a bit like a shooting gallery. And he might get a chance to show us what he's made of. Number 20 here. As NiP take the lead.
Well, group above the drop. And in they go, don't stop.
That's good advice.
Get Right, put down Flames. So they could go all together, they had to stop. Draken out toward the chicken coop will try and get vision on the entrance. He's already lost Get Right, so the pistol's working well. In fact, getting an AK picked up, but Forrest is there to put it back on the deck. Missed shot, Draken. They now know he's out toward the chicken coop, and he's got problems because they're flooding in. Oh, Draken. No, Draken. That's 3 sitting in front of his crosshair. He misses the flick as well. This could be the round because they've gotten Get Right. They've gotten a gun. In fact, it's just down to exist, and Draken could have controlled that on his own.
Yeah, man, it's the sort of round that gives you that Listerine face, you know. It's just nasty when you can miss those sort of shots. I hate to see it, and I'm sure you do as well. But Draken, yeah, he could have just controlled that, absolutely. Sure, they lost their first pick, but in that sort of situation, they had very limited utility. The players in front of him didn't really work out whatsoever. And it will be Draken with a bit of a red face there. And he'll still be stuck on single digits. Get around 20 just a note, but exist. He'll have to bow out of the round. That was OpTic Gaming just running away with it. They got so much, look at the money now. This will be looking very promising for them. As they pick this one up, they've managed to keep 2 AKs, the AWP, the M4, and still have plenty of cash. All of a sudden, this game has been turned on its head.
Yeah, it has. All by Draken missing some
a bit of a red face there.
Ridiculously easy shots. For most people, you'd expect they would hit those.
Yeah, blushing a bit. That's the kind of round that completely wrecks your confidence as well. And they take a tactical timeout here, and you just got to stew on it and know you just lost that round for your team. It's heartbreaking. If there are young players like that as well, it's very difficult to recover from that sort of round.
I wonder what his sensitivity is. Okay. Some sort of scope sensitivity issue.
Well, that's the thing, like, it's a bit of a meme, right, that he hits the really sick shots but misses the easy ones, right? And that's just demonstration right there.
Yep.
Of exactly that, and he's still learning and developing as a player. Like, if he's having a bad game, you can really see it.
Well, yeah, it was tough to watch, and that will certainly not go unnoticed, I'm sure, by everyone viewing this game. 10-10 as a result, and OpTic get a lifeline. They're right back into it. In fact, Mixwell onto an AWP to go along with the M4 carried over by Freiburg, and then 3 AK-47s they bring out as well. This is the one to contest as long as Freiburg wants to take it back from him. What's on the Flames to clear the angle. It's HS instead to hit the shot at Forrest. Exist now has to transition back to watch bottom in the middle. Good find in return. Knows that he has problems to his left, but the smoke down will give him room. So well-designed play to at least get a response kill from Exist. And look at the HP as a result of the nades.
Chance to calm down. Back on the AWP will be Draken. He's holding towards the drop-down area by the window right now. It's not ideal. They'll be heading towards that direction, but Exist will help them out a little bit there. Takes down former teammate Freiburg. And we enter the 4-on-3. Made this very low indeed. This should be a chance for NiP to bounce back here. They want to be picking this one up. Draken, that's a nice job. making up for the mistakes made in the previous. The bomb drop, 4 versus 1, made 6 HP. This one's done, and it will be NiP taking the lead once again after that disastrous round number 20. But we still have plenty of money on the OpTic side, like we said. Eco in the previous round, give you 4 players alive, so all that weaponry, they can definitely buy into the next. So NiP not out of the woods just yet, but they do keep 4 players alive themselves. Much better after taking the pause, and they seem back on track here.
I think with Draken, he just rushes himself.
Well, like when the whole world's watching, you want to put on a show, right? Maybe he's a showman.
I mean, the flick, he's making it exciting.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all scripted. I mean, the flicks, the muscle memory, he gets so used to running that style of op that even when they're right in front, I think he makes movement that he doesn't need to. But if he would just slow down a little bit in those situations.
Absolutely. Those sort of rounds, you definitely just need to slow down. You don't need to flick every single time. They can leave out occasion Beesburg. Just calm, methodical AWPing, just hit the shots that count. That's the AWPers that really count. Like, that's the ones that will go down in history as the legends, the ones that made impact and hit the shots that won rounds, not the ones that went occasional crazy clutch, you know?
Forrest forced off the angle by a smoke, but Exist still recovers from inside of the stable. Smoke to his left, as he has to control from long. They're wrapping back in, though, but just from the top of the mid wall. He's taking him down on the CZ and cutting the M4, ready to take out Forrest as well. Watch Get Right, he gets the response, but he's already backed off to cover the flank. In fact, he's rotated to the door, and Alu is indeed on the flank. They're going to have to be very careful. Bomb's going to go back around as a result of it as well.
This is a change of pace for OpTic there. Maybe just a former North player. That's a tactic they always used to deploy, or they probably still do. Rushing towards middle after you've presented lots of defaults and executions. Rush middle as a 5-man squad. Go for those trades. Get the man advantage. And now you've got plenty of time to work with here. And they've got the B bomb site completely locked down. It's up to Draken and Get Right. They definitely have the capability of winning this one, but they're on the other side of the map for now. As you can see, both of them on the mini-map in towards the connector. So what do they do here? They have got a smoke and an incendiary, but I think you just saved the weaponry here. I don't think they've even got a real chance with so much work to do, so many angles to check. It'll be up to Get Right primarily to find an opener, take some of the attention away, and I think they've called it to save the weapons at this stage. Maybe not. Get Right doesn't fancy that.
Not at all. Alu swings in, Draken goes down. We're knotted back up once again. 11-11, and the money starts to be torn apart on both sides.
It is.
Winner of this round effectively breaks their opponent.
Yeah, it's the war of attrition.
Good way of putting it.
It will be one final buy here for the Ninjas. Really could have done with saving those 2 weapons. I don't think that round was possible for them. All things considered, you got that trifecta of doom, as you would say, in the B-bomb side. Got no information, no real utility, but Draken's feeling brave. His confidence hasn't been completely rattled just yet. It's one of the picks I was talking about, looking for players to cross over towards long A. He doesn't get what he wants, but gets a bit of intel that maybe it's not an A-sided attack, and he'll fall back and just leave one player towards the A side of the map. That'll be Exist. 4 players towards B. Fast-paced gameplay from OpTic this time. Tied up though, you're absolutely right. Anyone's game, technically a T-sided map, but that doesn't really matter so much at this level of CS and just where you feel more comfortable, really.
HS gets ready to put his player Mixwell over top of the hay bales and into a more elongated position to see the corner. That gets them around the corner, but good time flash. Mixwell not fully blind, needs to be the one to cover them. No aggression on the other side of the flash. Instead, though, it's Forrest that exists, getting down to the bottom of middle instead.
We have long air control. We've dissected the map so far. Bomb is there, still 40 seconds, and a bit of utility. Got 2 smokes in the flashbangs. It exists, joined by his teammate Forrest. They're both stacking towards the bottom of the middle. Get Right to hold long A. He misses the first shot, but good trades from the CTs. We need the second goal to come in. Forrest can't do it though. There's trades left, right, and center, but OpTic Gaming come out on top. Draken now with no kit. And a 3 versus 1, he has to save here. No choice, unfortunately, for the young AWPer. He'll have to fall back towards T-spawn. Very well done from OpTic. They get that nice map control at the very start of the round, pushing back any sort of presence. The problem is, NiP made the early call after spotting towards middle. It was Draken that goes towards mid, calls for anyone crossing towards long A, but no one did at the start of the round. They then send 4 players towards the B bomb site, and then all of a sudden, we did have rotation for NiP and 2 players towards middle. Wasn't quite enough, though. The trades looking good, but the damage inflicted didn't quite work out. As you can see, Freiberg and HS go down to sub 50. But overall, 2 kills from HS guarantees the round, and Draken all the way up in Rapunzel Tower now. Not going to find anything from this, I don't think. This his teammates with a broken economy here. Only on the second stage loss bonus. That means they get $1,900 per player as they lose the lead once again. But Draken...
I mean, this does come back to Draken missing a lot of shots in that particular round, because that was the round they could have controlled the economy and extended the lead. Now they've actually... OpTic's done just enough to hold on as a result of it and broken NiP.
He could be the hero of this round, though. All could
You're
be
right.
forgiven.
You're right. Well, yeah, okay, maybe.
If he wins this on the back of an eco, I'd say it's fine. I'd say, you know what, kid? You've done all right.
Thanks, Dad.
Don't know why I'm talking like that.
Thanks,
An American sports dad.
Yeah. Well, he's trying to find anyone toward middle. HS was just barely behind the rock, so he won't spot anyone, and he'll fall off of it. OpTic are certainly looking decent to start off this group stage against NiP. Alu. He'll be the one up close. Let's do it to the side, but he's timid because there's a lot of players on the other side. In fact, the stack, including that of the AWP from NiP. So we'll see exactly what OpTic can ascertain from this. In fact, heading back toward A, it's encouraging to me that they should sort this out.
Yeah, full B stack, and it's a gamble for sure, but you don't really have much to work with. Default pistols and the AWP. It's pretty much defend the AWP at this point, right? It's like, let's just try and keep the AWP up. If they come towards B, amazing. We're here. We can take all the attention away from Draken. We'll see if we can hit some shots. If they go towards A, that's fine. We'll keep 5 players alive and protect the AWP. At least that's the idea. They will not be challenged. If the bomb goes down A cleanly, they probably won't even challenge it. Just look for it to make sense.
Only player close by at this point is Get Right.
So now they'll form around the AWP. Just protect him at all costs. He's like the hostage.
Yeah. AS
No, like the VIP, I think it's called in that one.
The VIP it is, yeah.
So he's got 200 armor, he's got 200 HP.
And a USP typically.
And a US silenced USP.
Yes.
It comes silenced by default now.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. As Get Right takes down Alu, they'll at least get 1 kill and 1 further gun carried over. So now Get Right can pass off the AK. He's on 47 HP. He might just hold it. Rez has gone aggressive. It shall end as we see it. But another round for OpTic. 13-11. They take back the lead.
Just a note, Valve have missed a trick there, haven't they? They could bring back as like one of the next DLC packs for CSGO. Bring back the VIP maps. Bring back Oil Rig, man. Like,
I think the people have asked for it before. I think that Oil Rig back. You bring
the zombie mode in.
Packs.
Some zombie mode, some Henry G voice packs.
Henry G voice pack, zombie mode. Yup, I'm in. Caster stickers because I like money.
Yeah, exactly.
And actually, I used to be against caster stickers, but now I understand.
Yeah, now you're just like, you know what? I need the money. Let's go.
It's not. That's not it. I understand that we are part of the community now.
Okay.
I have accepted
You've had
myself.
an awakening.
I guess. Okay. But speaking of awake, OpTic. Now 3 rounds. From the end, as NiP needs to recover, and they'll do so on the back of Draken's AWP, and the AK carried over from Get Right.
Group B starting to heat up now. This would be definitely counted as an upset if OpTic can take down NiP here. In touching distance of doing so now in this best of 1 on Cobblestone. Alu with the AK-47. He won't be able to do too much when he's being tagged up like that. Can he find the headshot? He can't. That'll be his cue to fall back, I would say. This is still challenging. And Get Right will find the second frag at the same time. 5 on 3.
Good picks early from NiP. HS tagged down to 58 as well. He's going to recontest toward the bottom of the middle, but smoke down. He won't be able to see onto the CT side. So he'll hold station as for now. Draken will back away toward the side as well on the AWP. No need to get caught on the NiP side. No need to give back a man advantage. A 2-man advantage to be exact. So Freiburg and HS will convene. See what they can create from almost nothing. They do have 1 smoke left. Freiburg's got a whole arsenal of nades, in fact, but that's it. Aside from a single and solitary flash for Magisk. So connector smoke. Flash to go above. Draken blinded, but not enough. He's able to hit it. Oh, good shot back to Magisk. HS goes down, though, and it's Exist against Freiburg immediately after, and with 28 seconds, I think Magisk knows that this round is gone. It'll go 1 round between them yet again, 13-12.
Yeah, very clean round there. It was OpTic exploring the big potential at the B platform there. Alu to challenge first. Like I said, when he missed the first shot with low HP, I think that's your cue to get out of there. He didn't want to fall back, and he cost himself and his teammate their life. And 5 on 3, went back towards the A side. Very simple procedure at that point for NiP. They're back in the driving seat now. Clean round. They've actually got 3 AK-47 on the CT side. That's so beneficial. You can hold more audacious angles, go for the opening picks, and go toe-to-toe with the AK-47s. You no longer are limited by one with the potential of the M4. Maybe rushing B this time, or maybe an execution off the bat. Looked like they were going very quickly indeed. The smokes will be deployed. Flashbangs as well. Molotov's going in. It's a set piece. Will it work out? Time will tell. It's Majors to try and crack things open here.
Oh, got room, I was going to say, but through the smoke comes Forrest, and down goes Magisk, Alu, Freiburg, and HS, Rez, and Get Right's hands. And it's just Mixwell. He does find one immediately. We'll give him some encouragement to go aggressive, catch them out before they get position, but Get Right sees him through the edge of the smoke, and we are knotted on 13s.
Solid as ever. Forrest charges through the smoke, finds 2 quick kills with the AK-47. Headshots, of course, delivers them in true style. And the set piece right off the bat there from Optic, completely and utterly shut down. Didn't really find a single kill there. Mixwell gets 1 constellation frag, but they're on an eco now. And what a time for that to arrive. 13-13. Almost certainly going to be an NiP round here. We've got 3 Glocks and 2 PD-50s. Ali's got head armor. Why has he done that?
To make you ask questions.
I guess he's taken himself down to 2K with like the rest of his team is, but it's not like it's going to yield a round victory, isn't it? It's essentially throwing away $1,000. But each to their own. We'll see if it works out for him.
Draken continues to watch the bottom of middle outside long A, so he's quite far forward considering he is against pistols. Forrest has the opening kill. Get Right, good find.
For that armor.
And by Freiburg as well. Mixwell next. Step up, walk the plank, young man. He's going to be forced to do so. HS is coming around. He's the captain, HS. Ooh. The shark waits in the water.
Yeah, I can smell blood as well. A wounded HS. Why we keep this nautical theme, I like it, but I'm trying to continue. I haven't got the imagination to keep up.
The waters may seem calm, but danger lurks below.
In the depths lies the predator Forrest.
You didn't do very well there, Henry.
No, try my best.
But Get Right and co. have the lead. NiP 14-13 over Optic. What up now, European / Estonian / Spanish / that's still European.
Still both European.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine. 14-13, and we'll see if Optic have anything left in their arsenal. To be fair, this has been quite promising for them. It's the first time they've showed us Cobblestone online, at least. I think officially as well. I don't think they've played an online game on this map. So the fact they're going toe-to-toe with NiP right now is an achievement in itself. They can still win this game 14-13. This will put them at a breaking point. The loss bonus only at the 3rd stage right now. As Draken, once again, holding towards long, dodges the flashbang. Freiburg will be walking in front of him momentarily. Will he be able to find the shot? Another flashbang comes through. Freiburg steps himself up, but doesn't commit to the peak. Now he does, and just gives it up. Doesn't trade, but look at his teammates emphatically making their way up towards Midas exists. He's panicking some more grenades, and he'll get punished for that. He might take out Mixwell from the grave. He won't, but it's going to be Draken to make up for it in spades with 2 kills from long A.
Brilliantly done. And he still holds the corner as well. He's got backup behind him. Alu's gotten through toward Connector. Get Right, he found, and Draken immediately there to capitalize on his retreat to the site, meaning no post-plant support for Magisk. Stuck on the site itself, and NiP's going to find map point. Draken with an ace in doing so.
He's back, baby. Nice little ace to redeem himself and find match point here. It's going to be a pause coming in from Freiburg and Co. They get 4th stage loss bonus now with the bomb going down. It's not the best of buys, but it's certainly not the worst. Got about $4,000 per player. Draken with the ace. Yeah, he's getting fired up now. Bit of a smile on that young face. We'll see whether they can close things out and take us to overtime. We have had a lot of overtimes today. I think maybe 3 or 4 in total. Obviously, we haven't kept up with the B stream as much, but I had a triple overtime earlier with our Razors, so that was a good way to kick off the tournament. Could be a late one tonight.
We've, interestingly enough, had the gauntlet thrown by Betway as well. That if your team loses in overtime, they'll still pay it out as if it's a win. Because there's been so many overtimes in this event, they're encouraging people to take that risk.
Yeah.
Hey, you never know. With the amount of overtimes we've had, yeah, it's certainly a possibility. There's money to be made. Right before Christmas, why not? Little payout.
Yeah.
Go buy yourself some nice lingerie.
Well, that's what I'd be doing. Might need it after this game. Draken, aggressive once again. To find the first pick, this time towards danger. You can see a very limited wounded Optic here. Match point The Galils are out. A couple of smokes. One flashbang. Draken now trying to not take the bait, but eventually has to take the shot. So will come down. They might still challenge this. He spots the feet. Now things become very awkward indeed. But Mixwell gets the first kill. It's going to be the start of a very difficult round for Optic. 5 and 4 in their favour though. Still have their smokes available to them as they head back towards long end. That's where Draken's waiting. Can he find the shot and bring around back in favour? He cannot. They'll be taken down at this point. HS and Freiburg lining up the scoreboard, and that should be it. Optic going to run away with the round.
They're going to run away with the round. That's going to put us into round 30 as well. 15-14. Optic a chance to give us more extra innings.
Oh, absolutely. They keep a decent amount of players alive as well as we head into round number 30. Got plenty of cash for NiP. Don't worry about that. They'll take the pause all the same. It's actually Optic that call for it. Why not? It doesn't really matter who calls at this point. It's the last round. So you're going to take it regardless. So the thing is that there's so much on the line here, right? It might have seemed like, okay, it's just overtime. Everyone's still in it. But if you lose in overtime, you only get 1 point. If you win in overtime, you only get 2. So it's significant that this game gets to overtime. If Optic can just guarantee that, they at least get themselves 1 point on the scoreboard, the leaderboard, I should say. NiP looking to win this group. Want to avoid that at all costs. They want to get a clean 3 points here.
Well, do or die time, NiP, you're right. If they want 3 points, it's time to get them. They've already secured at least 1 point by getting 15 rounds. Molotov toward the door at middle from Exist. That'll put pressure toward long A.
Just to stop that mid-rush we've seen from Optic as well. Just so he's by himself, they're focusing on long A, just to slow down that potential there.
Rez gets an early Molotov thrown his direction as well so that he can't burrow himself into the stairwell. Haven't seen as many long B battles as of late. It's been mid and drop that's been most of the contest. Draken, flash, tries to pre-fire into it, backs off, still has Exist to support his position. And Draken will watch down toward lower through danger instead. In fact, he gets very inquisitive. Wants to get up close and try and find Mixwell, other side of the door. And he does. Nade thrown out. Mixwell jumped into it. Now Exist has to be able to back him up, but he's backed off so far. HS is going to walk directly in. Draken has nowhere to hide. Exist gets one on Freiburg, but HS is still directly in.
Oh, I thought the no-go was coming in there. Not meant to be. 4 on 3 to close out the game. Magus, though, makes noise towards a drop down. It's now a very, very difficult situation. Fighting for overtime. 4 on 2. HS and Magisk to try and make this happen. It's very unlikely. And the first incision's made. We might have a chance here.
10 HP, however, left from Magisk after the exchange. Quick pop flash out toward the rock. Getting right there. He knew it was coming, and he's ready for Magisk to peek. It's all onto HS. There's the bomb. But 3 to find. All with reasonably good HP, except for Exist. He's within 1 shot of a headshot against the M4. Finding Forrest early enough as well betters the chances. Exist is gone on the flank, but he knows. Get right, still behind the rock. Oh my goodness. Does he know that Exist is behind him? He's got just around the rock. I think he's aware of it now, but Exist is too close. He commits to the bomb plant, and Exist makes it 16-14 for NiP.
Very good game, actually. I really enjoyed that one. Back and forth. They seemed like Optic had a solid defense to kick things off. They got 5-6 rounds in a row. They had the lead 9-6 at half, but it wasn't quite enough. The veterans pulled through, and a 1v1 to close things out. One of the old guards, Exist, manages to push up a platform, and the 3 versus 1 situation doesn't work out for HS. That's been one of my favorite games of the day. That's actually really cool. First showing a cobblestone there for Optic, and quite a promising one at that.
And some interesting banter back and forth between Freiburg and the old teammates. But speaking of teammates, we've got 3 standing behind the desk. It's Alex and the boys.
The Legion post-match breakdown.
Thank you so much, gents. Yeah, actually, you know what? Henry, Matt, both enjoyed that one. I said we here at the panel. I've got myself Pimp, and I've got myself Chad here for the Xfinity analyst desk. Chad, start us off. We painted quite an interesting picture in the pre-match, and I'm sure the casters have covered it throughout that, but it was the first time Optic had played that, at least in the last 3 months.
Yep.
They are known to be practiced, regimented, and they know that they've got a coach who certainly is no stranger to a demo watch or 2. They go full 30 rounds. I mean, that's proof that practice can indeed render rewards.
Yeah, I think the scoreline definitely shows that, right? And there were certain times where it looked like they were exploiting positions, NiP on the CT side, more so than when they were on the CT side, right? Because at that point, you're kind of just mitigating, you know what strategies are coming and how to react. But NiP know how to react better. Now, the fact that we had the pistol rounds being switched, NiP getting that early buy-in, that kind of effect happening on their T side, you saw the old strats coming out from them, the jump smokes, everything they had in their back pocket. But I thought, it was really good the way that Optic stood up. The individuals there, Magic's made it very, very dirty on the eco rounds. They weren't able to convert, but made it costly. And in the end, 16-14, OpTic's unlucky that it didn't go their way. I think maybe that round where Draken whiffed with the AWP quite severely, if that had gone the other way, then it wouldn't have been such a competitive scoreline. That round was quite pivotal.
Well, he did have some 30-degree angle memes, but he also did have an ace. We could see that one as well. Both two sides of the coin. Draken certainly did shut them down. He definitely did make up for it. And, it couldn't have been at a more crucial time. A full buy from both sides, and Draken just firing on all cylinders, every shot connecting. And it was rather fun to watch him pick them apart. But still, 16-14, and the last round comes down to a 1v1, Jacob. Not many games get as close as that. That was overtime in the balance in a 1v1. HS couldn't quite make it happen.
Yeah, that just justifies for a good game throughout,
right?
Yeah. Well played by OpTic. We talked about it. We didn't know what to expect going into Cobblestone, and I feel like we got our answers here. They can play Cobblestone, and it's a map we potentially could see them play against some of the other opponents in the group stage. So that's one more in the bank for them. Also interesting for me to see Alu on the rifle. Mixwell were working the up. Neither of them had a great game. Actually, the two bottom fraggers for OpTic. So there's still maybe there a little bit of a role definition that needs to be taken accounted for going further in the tournament.
I mean, I'm going to add an asterisk to that because when you say bottom fraggers, I think it was one kill separating the second from the bottom. So, I mean, these guys did just all fragging. But you're right. I mean, there was evidence of not uncomfortability. That's not a right word. That's not even a word.
I like it.
Discomfort. There we go. Discomfort. Vocabulary. Yeah. It's there. It's in there somewhere.
We've got dictionaries in
I can rephrase it though. They had the two lowest ADRs by quite a significant margin.
That's a much more significant
statistic. Much more significant. And it is Mixwell and Alu, like two of supposed to be star players in this lineup, where you have Freiberg and HS being the support players and Magix being the rifler. So still a little bit of a role definition that needs to be taken account of there.
Yeah, and if you turn to the ninjas, not only is it 3 points, which is hard to come by, it seems in this group stage, everyone's going into overtime, so managing to do it in regulation, but also the same candidates, Get Right and Forest. Top of the scoreboard. The Res hype train perhaps derailed with just 15.
Well, Exist just there as well. Maybe they wanted to prove to Freiberg, hey, look, buddy, we're going to win this one. But there's a bit of back and forth there when Freiberg won that clutch. It's so easy, Get Right. He didn't have any problem throwing that out there. But that's good to see. And I think this is a positive sign for OpTic because I didn't know where to place them. But they were very competitive in a team who we consider within the top 3. And if you look at the fact that North just lost to Misfits, the door is definitely open if OpTic can win a few of these matches.
Yeah, I mean, they have to be fair. They are starting. There's no more difficult way to start in terms of their first games. In fact, their only games today are versus Ninjas in Pyjamas then SK, which is basically the two big dogs in Group B. So they need to continue to maintain this form, if not improve. They'll be venturing into their game versus the Brazilians later on today. But lessons learned, let's just kind of quickly review. Lessons learned are Ninjas in Pyjamas could very well continue to have a performance like they did at IEM, or at least they can stay competitive, right? I mean, Jacob, that's something we've been looking to get excited about, is Ninjas back on competitive stance.
Yeah, I mean, it gives an indication that they're there, right? But I haven't seen anything IEM Oakland form-ish from them yet. We see Get Right playing a well game, but besides from that, a little bit shaky. Other lesson learned would be, OpTic are competitive as well, and they threw in Cobble as a mix, and that's also goes out to the other teams, knowing as a player, you go into a tournament, you expect teams to play certain maps, and all of a sudden you see in the first round, okay, these guys are playing a map we did not prepare for. What are we going to do in our veto, right? So it has an effect on the entire group stage.
Absolutely, and we do have an opportunity now, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure. But to wrap us all up and to actually provide some extra insight, we do have Stunner, who's grabbed a player over at the... I had a fancy name. It was really cool. I liked it. It was called like the Intel something. It was really cool. Intel. It was a cool name. We're hanging out there, and we've got Stunner. He's managed to grab Threat, so this could be interesting, and we'll be back later.
It could be interesting, Alex, and I can almost guarantee you it will be interesting. Now, Threat, you guys, that one went to the wire, dare I say. But ultimately, let's just kick this bad boy off with playing against a former teammate in Freiburg, huh?
Yeah, we didn't really know what to expect going into Cobble. It's been their permaban since they changed the lineup. The last time they played it was actually in Cologne when they played with the old lineup, the NA lineup. So we had no intel on them, but we still wanted to go for their gamble, and it kind of worked out.
So you guys went with Cobblestone over Inferno, though. Talk to me a little bit about that.
I don't think we're that comfortable on Inferno yet, and knowing that they haven't played Cobble officially yet, we really wanted to play that map. They probably have practiced it a lot this past week, but you still have to play it officially to know where you're really at. And we felt our Cobble is okay at this point. We did lose it versus G2 at Blast, and I mean, it's still kind of shaky, 16-14, but we made it.
Well, you say shaky, which brings me, I guess, to my next question. You had about 6 rounds on the T side. Probably look to have a little bit more, but what could you guys look to take from this one?
I think we lost a lot of like 3v3s and 2v2s. I think there were 3 or 4 rounds in a row where they only survived with 1 or 2 people, so we had the possibility to reset their economy. We didn't manage to win a single one of those rounds. It made it kind of awkward for us. So I think we really just need to work on our 3v3s and 2v2s.
Now you're going up against pretty much an underdog next. It's going to be Energy. What can you tell me going into that one?
I mean, every team at this tournament is, a really strong opponent. So we've prepared for every opponent. We're going to take this exactly like if we're going to play SK or FaZe.
Well, thank you, Threat. Again, congratulations, and we'll be seeing you guys shortly. We're going to be going to a quick break. When we come back, we're going to be jumping into SK and OpTic. So make sure you don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
No!
Keep on sharing what you don't know. Going down a rabbit hole. Just because we say so, we want your soul. We are gonna take control. Shaking you up right now.
Try box. Stairs.
Nothing great ever happened without a witness.